Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to be making this beautiful female pant trouser. So if you're interested in learning this, then kindly keep watching and do not forget to subscribe. Alright, so my fabric is on fold, as you can see, and in order to know what to fold, you are going to divide your lap measurement or thigh measurement by 2. Okay, and then you are going to be adding about 3 inches to it. So my thigh measurement is 24 inches. I divided by 2, that gave me 12, and then I added 3 inches, so my fold is on 15 inches. Okay, so the next thing to do is to measure the length of my pant, and in order to do this, I'm going to remove 2 inches for the band. All right, so you are going to remove the 2 inches out of your measurement, and then you continue from that 2 inches downwards. Okay, so right here I'm measuring my length, which is 40 inches. All right, and then I'm going to be adding 2 inches for folding in the hem, so that is a total of 42 inches. So go right ahead to mark your pant length. Okay, I'll be marking that across, and then I'll be making my line. Go right ahead and do the same thing. Okay guys, so that is done. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is to mark out my knee length. Okay, and just as we did for the other one, you are going to start measuring from 2 again. Remove 2 inches out and mark out your knee length, and my length is 20 inches, so I marked that right across, just like we did for the full length. All right. Okay guys, that is all done. The next thing that we're going to be doing is to get our crotch depth, and in order to do this, you're going to be dividing your hip measurement by 4. Now you will notice at this point that I did not remove 2 inches out, so you're going to be starting at the tip of your tape rule. All right, there's no need to remove 2 inches out of this. So measure your crotch depth across, all right, like the way we did the length. That is all done. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing now is to get my other measurement. So right from the open part towards the middle, I'm going to be measuring my thigh divided by 2. Okay, remember my thigh measurement is 24, so from that open part towards the middle I marked 12 inches. All right, and then right on that spot you are going to be marking your hip divided by 4 back towards the open side. All right, so my hip divided by 4 is 9.5 inches, so I marked it right there. So whatever you have remaining there should be the what you will get when you subtract your thigh divided by 2 and your hip divided by 4. So in my own case, my thigh divided by 2 is 12 inches minus my hip divided by 4, which is 9.5. So I have 2.5 inches remaining, and that is what I have right there. So we are going to be taking that measurement upwards. Okay, so we are extending that mark that we got right there. We are extending it upwards. So I'll be joining that with my ruler. Kindly give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. Right at that spot now, I'm going to be marking 3 inches upwards. So this is where my curve is going to start from. So 3 inches upwards, and then you use your curve to get that crotch depth curve. Okay, so simply go right ahead and do the same thing at this point. That's done. We have our perfect crotch depth now. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to mark out our waist measurement. So right from that line towards the midpoint, I'll be marking out the waist, which is your waist divided by 4. All right, so at this point, if you want to add your dart, you can add your extra 1 inch for your dart, but I don't usually add that to my pants, but I'm going to be adding the extra 1 inch. All right, and then I'll be joining to that hip measurement right there. So just go right ahead and do the same thing. That is done now. So at that, or at the hip measurements, I'm going to be adding 0.5 for the joining allowance. Okay, and then I will be joining it back to that waistline. So it's just as if we are creating a new line there. We are no longer using the first line that I made. That done, we are moving over to the knee at this point. Okay, so in order to get your knee circumference, we are going to be dividing whatever measurements you have from that edge of the crotch to the hip measurement, and then you'll be dividing it by 2. So this is going to give us the midpoints of the pants that we are drafting. Okay, so I simply folded my tape rule at that point to get my midpoint. So I'm going to be measuring that and placing it right at the hip, at the knee, and also at the full length. Okay, so what I have there is 6.5, so I marked the same thing there, and then I'll be doing that too at the hem of my pant. Once that is done, we'll go back to the knee to take our measurement. Now for the knee circumference, you are going to be dividing it also by 2, and then you place the half of whatever you have on that mark that we made. For instance, my knee circumference is 20 inches divided by 2, that is 10 inches. So I placed 5 inches right on that spot, and then I marked on both sides to get my 10 inches. I hope you understand, guys. So we are doing the same thing at the hem. My hem circumference is 18 inches. I divided by 2, which is 9 inches, and then I placed 4.5, which is the half of that 9, on that point, and then I marked on both sides. Okay, so do the same thing on your pattern, and then we are going to be joining our lines now at this point. So simply go right ahead and do the same thing. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I have other videos too that you can check out. Feel free to share the video as well. Thank you, guys. So we are done with the front, and then we are moving over to the back. Now when folding your back, you can see that my fabric is on fold already, and I've placed my front on it. But when placing it, you have to make sure that you have excess about 2 to 3 inches at the upper part and at the side, the crotch side. Alright, so make sure you have excess. Okay, so the first thing I'll be doing now is to add 1.5 inches all around my crotch. Okay, so simply go right ahead to do it, and now I'm extending the crotch line, and then I'll be marking 1.5 inches all around. Alright, so simply go right ahead to do that, 1.5 inches all around, and then we are going to be joining all these points. Give this video a thumbs up and kindly subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so much. So that is done now. Now what I'm going to do now is to make sure that I extend that line upwards. Okay, extend it right upwards to cover the extra inches that we added, and then I'll be making broken lines to connect the front waist to that line. So right there I'll be marking 2 inches upwards. Okay, so that is the extra extension for the crotch, and then I'll be connecting to the waist. Alright, so the extension is not going all through. Okay, it's just at the crotch part, and then at the side is going to be equal. So this is going to give us a kind of a slant at the upper part. Alright, so now at the other side we are going to be adding 2 inches all around. Okay, right from that crotch down to the hem, we'll be adding 2 inches. Remember, we didn't add any sewing allowance to the pant, so this 2 inches is the sewing allowance. Okay, so it is very, very important. So simply go ahead and mark 2 inches all the way to the hem and connect your lines. All done, guys. So the next thing to do is to cut. Okay, so just cut out your pattern, and then we'll move over to the band cut. Alright, okay, guys, so this is what we have. We have the front and the back. Okay, so we are moving over to the band now. So remember that we removed 2 inches for the band, and since it's going to be on fold, that is 2 inches times 2, which is 4 inches, and then I'll be adding 1 inch sewing allowance. So in total, my band width is going to be 5 inches. Alright, so simply mark out 5 inches and then the length of your band, and then we'll be adding the interfacing to it, and that will be all for band. So we'll be moving over to the joining of our pants. Okay, remember to add about 2 inches extra to the length of the band, because we are going to be sewing it into the 1 inch extra allowance that we added earlier. Okay, all right, so we are moving over to the joining of our pants, and then we'll be starting with the front. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is to sew the crotch part of the front with 0.5. Okay, so simply sew 0.5 at that part. This is what I have. You can see how beautiful it is, and it is ironed. So we're moving over to the back. Now to the back pattern, remember we added 1.5 inches, okay, to the back. So when joining, you are going to start out with 1.5 inches at the tip, and then you are going to reduce it to 0.5 as you get towards the end of your crotch. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you what I have. This is what I have. I started with 1.5, and towards the end it's reduced to 0.5. Now that is done. What we are going to be doing next is to place the front and the back together. Now at this point, you are going to make sure that both sides are equal when joining. Of course, the back is going to be bigger than the front. We have the butt allowance there already, so you don't have to stress yourself with that. Just make sure that the sides are equal. The excess at the back is not a problem. Now remember, I added 1 inch at the upper part, so I'm going to start out with 1 inch, okay, and then it's going to reduce gradually to 0.5 as I reach the hem of that. That is done now. It is ironed and I have weaved it. You can see how beautiful it is. All right, so what I'm going to be doing now is to bend the lower part of each. Okay, remember we added 2 inches, so I'll be bending 2 inches at the lower part, okay, for both. Now this is what I have. You can see how beautiful it is. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is to make sure that the crotch of the front and the back are pinned together. Okay, make sure the crotch is pinned together, and then we are going to sew right from that part towards the hem with 0.5. okay, and then we'll go back to that mid part and then sew towards the other end. All right, so this is what I have, guys, at the end of it all. So I'm going to flip it over to the right side now. Wow, this is what I have now. So beautiful. So the next thing to do, of course, is the band. So I have added my interfacing to the band, and then I'm going to attach it to this pants, and then I'll be adding my zip off camera. And this is what we have at the end of the day. You can see how beautiful it is. Thank you so much. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and please drop your comments. I will attend to it.